Have you ever realized that money is like a capricious lover? The more recklessly you chase it, the faster it runs. You work overtime, you research side hustles, you turn yourself into a high-speed spinning top until you're dizzy with exhaustion. But on those late nights, when you stare at the cold balance in your bank account, a tremendous sense of helplessness washes over you. You've sacrificed your health, neglected your family, and drained your soul, yet the wealth you crave is always just out of reach, like a mirage in the desert. What if I told you that every effort you've made to make money has been wrong from the very start? What if the problem isn't your lack of hustle, but the fact that your own internal frequency is literally programmed to reject wealth? Welcome to Quantum Files Awakening. Today, we are not just talking about finances. We are talking about a total restructuring of your reality. Trust me, after this, you will no longer be a physically and mentally exhausted money chaser. You will become a calm, relaxed money magnet. Part 1. The Science of the Invisible Wall. Let's start with a situation you know all too well. You desperately need money for rent, for debt, or for an opportunity that feels like your last chance. Inside you, the anxiety churns like ants crawling on a hot stove. Every morning, the first thought that hits your brain is, how am I going to get the money? You throw yourself into the grind. You wait for luck, for a windfall, for a miracle. But the result is always the same. The more you crave it, the less it comes. In fact, bad luck seems to follow you: unexpected fines, broken appliances, unforeseen expenses. You resent fate. You feel God is treating you badly. But here is the harsh quantum truth. Money isn't avoiding you. Your state of mind is pushing it away. The quantum core. Everything is frequency. To understand this, we must look at modern physics. Quantum mechanics tells us that everything in this universe, the stars, the trees, your body, and the stack of $100 bills you want, is composed of energy vibrating at specific frequencies. There is one fundamental law in this universe. Same frequency resonance, different frequencies repulsion. Think of a radio. If you want to hear FM 97.4, you must tune your receiver to 97.4. If you are tuned to 101.2, you will hear nothing but static and hissing noise. You can scream at the radio. You can work harder to turn the volume up, but you will never hear the music until you change the frequency. Now let's analyze the frequency you emit when you are in that desperate, waiting for money state. That is the frequency of scarcity. Your inner monologue is broadcasting, I don't have enough, I am lacking, I am afraid. Fear, anxiety, and irritability are the lowest forms of energy. They cause your energetic field to contract, become heavy, and turn inward. This state acts like a signal jamming device. It sends a clear message to the universe. This is a low-energy zone. Abundance, stay away. Money, in its essence, is high-frequency energy. It represents flow, joy, gratitude, and freedom. It likes to go where it is welcomed by confidence and ease. By being desperate, you are holding an old 3G phone and crying because you can't connect to a 5G network. They are on completely different channels. You aren't waiting for money. You are using your feelings of need to build a solid, invisible wall between you and wealth. The observer effect. Why your focus is killing your bank account. In the famous double-slit experiment, physicists discovered that subatomic particles change their behavior based on whether or not they are being observed. When not observed, they exist as waves of infinite possibility. When observed, they collapse into a single, solid particle. Your focus is the observer. If you constantly focus on the lack of money, you are literally using your consciousness to collapse the infinite possibilities of the universe into a single, solid reality of poverty. You are creating the very wall you are trying to climb over. Case study. The tragedy of the need vibration. Consider the story of many lottery winners. Why do 70% of them end up poorer than they started within 5 years? It is because their external reality changed. They got the money, but their internal frequency remained tuned to scarcity. Because their internal vessel was only the size of a cup, it could not hold the ocean of wealth they received. Their subconscious mind literally created accidents and bad decisions to bleed the money away until they returned to the low-frequency state they felt they deserved. On the flip side, look at Chris Gardner, depicted in The Pursuit of Happiness. Even when he was sleeping in public restrooms with his son, his internal frequency was not one of resentment or lack. He maintained a frequency of inner richness. He didn't focus on, "I don't have a bed." He focused on, "I have the ability to solve problems." He wasn't waiting for happiness. He was radiating the frequency of a man who already belonged in that top-tier brokerage firm. Because his frequency matched the millionaire channel, the universe had no choice but to bridge the gap. The open loop, the UNWORTHINESS virus. But here is the deeper question. If we know that high frequency attracts money, why is it so hard to stay in that state? Why do we keep falling back into fear? The answer is a hidden virus in your subconscious mind that we call the feeling of unworthiness. You might say you want to be rich, but deep down, in the basement of your soul, you believe you don't deserve it. Where did this virus come from? How is it sabotaging you right now without you even knowing it? And more importantly, how do we delete this program forever? Before we move to part 2, to dismantle these limiting beliefs, take a moment. If this realization that you are the one broadcasting the signal of scarcity has hit you like a lightning bolt, leave a comment below saying, "I am ready to change my frequency." Subscribing to this channel is your first act of shifting from a passive observer to an active creator of your destiny. Part 2, the scarcity program, the virus of unworthiness. In our last segment, we discovered that your bank account isn't empty because of a lack of effort, but because of a mismatch in frequency. You are broadcasting need, while wealth only responds to abundance. But this leads us to a frustrating question. If I know this, why can't I just flip a switch and feel wealthy? Why does my brain keep dragging me back into the dark trenches of anxiety and lack? The answer is both simple and terrifying. You are currently running on a scarcity program that was installed in your subconscious mind before you were even old enough to tie your shoes. You think you are the pilot of your life, but you are actually flying on autopilot, and that autopilot is programmed to keep you safe in poverty. The elephant chain metaphor, the psychology of limitation. To understand how this program works, let's look at the tragic story of the circus elephant. When an elephant is still a baby, trainers tie its leg to a heavy iron stake with a thick, unyielding chain. The baby elephant pulls, it struggles, it bleeds, and it cries, but it cannot break free. After weeks of failing, the baby elephant makes a quantum decision. It decides, "I am not strong enough. This chain is stronger than me. I am a prisoner." Years pass. The elephant grows into a 5-ton beast capable of uprooting trees and crushing cars. Yet the trainer now ties it with a thin, frayed rope to a small wooden peg. The elephant could snap that rope with a flick of its ear, but it never tries. Why? Because the program in its mind says it is still a helpless baby. You are that elephant. The thin rope is your current financial situation. The wooden peg is your job or your debt. You have the power of a giant, but you are paralyzed by a memory of failure that isn't even yours anymore. The subconscious malware where your program began. Your financial frequency was set between the ages of 0 and 7. During this time, your brain was in a theta state, a state of hypnosis, where you simply absorbed everything around you without a filter. Think back to your childhood. What did you hear about money? Money doesn't grow on trees. We aren't the Rockefellers. Rich people are greedy and dishonest. Life is a struggle. You have to work hard to survive. These aren't just phrases. They are subconscious malware. When a child hears "we can't afford that," their brain translates it into a fundamental identity. I am a person who doesn't deserve nice things. I am a person of lack. By the time you became an adult, this malware had integrated into your operating system. Now, every time you try to manifest wealth or start a business, the unworthiness virus triggers an alarm. It tells you, wait, this isn't who we are. We are the people who struggle. Get back to the comfort zone of poverty. This is why you self-sabotage. This is why you spend your paycheck the moment it arrives. You are unconsciously trying to match your external reality to your internal elephant program. The science of learned helplessness. Psychology calls this learned helplessness. In a famous and controversial experiment by Martin Seligman, dogs were placed in a box where they received mild shocks they couldn't escape. Later, when they were moved to a box where they could easily jump over a small barrier to safety, they didn't even try. They just lay down and accepted the shock. Most of the population in the modern world is in a state of learned financial helplessness. You've been shocked by recessions, by layoffs, by debt, and by the rising cost of living so many times that your spirit has simply laid down. You look at the millionaire barrier and you think, why bother? I'm just not one of the lucky ones. But here is the awakening. Luck is nothing more than a frequency match. Those lucky people aren't better than you. They simply haven't had their frequency jammed by the same malware, or they've learned how to delete it. The identity trap, I am. The two most powerful words in the English language are I am. Whatever follows those words becomes your reality. If you say I am broke, I am a slow learner, or I am struggling, you are literally giving a command to your subconscious mind to maintain that state. Your brain is a loyal servant. If you tell it you are a struggler, it will find reasons for you to struggle. It will make you overlook opportunities. It will make you forget to follow up on a lead, and it will keep you vibrating at that low, heavy frequency. You might be wondering, how do I delete 20, 30, or 40 years of bad programming? How do I break the elephant's rope when I've believed it was a chain for my entire life? The key isn't to fight the old thoughts. The key is to overload the system with a new frequency. In the next part, we are going to introduce the most powerful tool in the quantum files arsenal, the Prosperity Journal. This isn't just a diary. It is a frequency calibration tool that will force your brain to rewire itself for abundance in as little as 21 days. Does the elephant chain feel a little too real for you right now? Have you been letting a thin rope of old beliefs hold back a giant? If you've identified one of those subconscious malware phrases from your childhood, share it in the comments. By naming the virus, you begin to delete it. And don't forget to stick with us. Part 3 is where we stop talking about the problem and start building the solution. Make sure your notifications are on, because this next shift is where the magic happens. Part 3, the Prosperity Journal and the brain's secret filter. Did you know that your brain is not a camera recording reality? It is a filter, deleting 99% of what you see to keep you from going insane. Right now, trillions of bits of data are swirling around you, opportunities, money-making ideas, connections, but you are blind to them. Why? Because your gatekeeper has been told to keep them out. Pattern interrupt. Today, we are going to hack that gatekeeper. We are going to force your biology to work for your bank account using a tool called the Prosperity Journal. This isn't just about writing in a notebook. It's about rewiring your neural pathways to finally see the abundance that is already waiting for you. The science, the Reticular Activating System, RAS. Before we pick up the pen, you must understand the hardware. Inside your brainstem lies a bundle of nerves called the Reticular Activating System, or RAS. Think of the RAS as the search engine of your subconscious. Have you ever decided to buy a specific car, let's say a red Tesla, and suddenly you start seeing red Teslas everywhere? On the highway, in your neighbor's driveway, in every parking lot. Did the world suddenly produce more red Teslas? No. They were always there. But your RAS was programmed to ignore them until you made them important. The tragedy for most people is that their RAS is programmed to find lack. You have told your brain that money is hard to get, so your RAS filters out every side hustle, every investment tip, and every lucky break. It literally makes wealth invisible to you. To change your life, you don't need to change the world. You only need to change the search query in your RAS. Step 1. The Prosperity Journal Protocol. This is where the Prosperity Journal comes in. Most people keep a gratitude journal, which is fine, but we are looking for frequency calibration. We aren't just saying thank you. We are training the brain to witness abundance as a constant fact of life. Every night before your brain enters the theta state for sleep, you will write down 3 evidence of abundance moments from your day. But here is the secret. Abundance is not just money. If you only look for money, your old scarcity program will win because you don't have enough of it yet. You must broaden the definition of wealth to high-frequency experiences. The 3 categories of evidence. 1. Sensory abundance. Did you eat a meal that tasted incredible? Did you see a sunset that looked like a masterpiece? Did you feel the comfort of clean sheets? Write it down. You are telling your brain, look, the universe provides high-quality experiences for me effortlessly. 2. Abundance of connection. Did a stranger smile at you? Did a friend send a supportive text? Did you have a deep conversation? This proves you are rich in human energy. 3. Abundance of opportunity. Did you find a penny on the street? Did a green light stay open just for you? Did someone offer you a piece of advice? When you do this consistently, your RAS receives a new command. Find more of this. Within 72 hours, you will notice something strange. You'll overhear a conversation at a coffee shop about a new business trend. You'll see an ad for a job you actually want. You'll find a $20 bill in an old coat. These aren't miracles. They are the data points your RAS used to delete, now being allowed into your conscious mind. The NEUROPATHWAY route. Neuroscience has a famous saying, neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you write in your prosperity journal, you are firing the abundance circuit in your brain. Imagine your old scarcity mindset is a massive paved 10-lane highway. It's easy to drive on. It's where your brain naturally goes. Your abundance mindset is currently a small, overgrown jungle path. It's hard to walk on. Every night you journal, you are clearing the brush on that jungle path. You are laying down the gravel. You are paving the road. Eventually, the abundance highway becomes the easiest route for your brain to take. You don't have to try to be positive anymore. It becomes your default frequency. This is the moment you stop chasing and start attracting. Case study, the hidden promotion. Consider Sarah, a mid-level manager at a tech firm in Austin. She felt stuck, underpaid, and invisible. She spent her days complaining about her greedy boss vibrating at the frequency of lack. Her RAS was tuned to find reasons to be miserable. She started the Prosperity Journal. For the first week, she felt like a liar. But by week 3, her RAS shifted. She stopped noticing her boss's flaws and started noticing a gap in the company's workflow that no one was fixing. Because she was in a state of abundance/problem solving, she designed a solution. 2 months later, she was promoted to a new role created just for her, with a 40% salary increase. Did the job appear out of thin air? No. The problem was always there. The gap was always there. But Sarah was frequency blind to it until she reprogrammed her RAS. The open loop, the amplifier. Open loop, but journaling is only the input. To truly explode your wealth, you need to turn up the volume. You need an amplifier. Thoughts are the electricity, but emotions are the magnetic field that pulls reality toward you. How do you feel the joy of $100 million when you currently have $100? How do you trick your nervous system into believing the future is already here? This is the most dangerous secret of the elite, a technique we call living in the future. And in part 4, I am going to show you exactly how to do it without feeling like you're faking it. Are you willing to commit to 21 days of training your RAS? If you are, type challenge accepted in the comments. This small action is your first signal to the universe that you are taking control of your filter. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Quantum Files, because what we are about to cover in part 4 is the missing link that most manifestation teachers are afraid to talk about. Part 4, Emotional Amplification, the physics of feeling. You've started the journal. You're rewiring your RAS. But maybe you're asking, why isn't the money falling from the sky yet? Here is the hard truth that most law of attraction gurus hide from you. Thinking is not enough. Thoughts are electrical signals sent out into the universe. But emotions are the magnetic field that pulls the reality back to you. If you are thinking, I am rich, while your heart is pounding with the fear of being broke, you are creating a massive energetic short circuit. You are broadcasting a signal that says, I want it, but I don't have it. And the universe, being a perfect mirror, gives you exactly that, a state of wanting. Today, we are going to fix the magnet. We are going to teach your body how to live in the future before it even happens. The quantum signature, thoughts vs. emotions. To master wealth, you must understand your electromagnetic signature. In the quantum field, your brain acts as the broadcast tower. It sends out the request, but your heart is the engine. Scientific studies from the Heart Math Institute have shown that the magnetic field produced by the human heart is up to 5,000 times stronger than the field produced by the brain. When you think about wealth but feel lack, your magnetic field is actually pushing the opportunity away. You are effectively steering toward a destination while your engine is in reverse. To manifest $100 million, or whatever your goal is, your heart and brain must be in coherence. This means they must vibrate at the same high-frequency signature. The ultimate state of receivership, gratitude. Most people think they should feel grateful after they receive the money. In the old Newtonian world of cause and effect, that makes sense. But in the quantum world, you must feel the gratitude before the event occurs. Why? Because gratitude is the emotional signature that the event has already happened. Think about it. When do you feel grateful? You feel it when you've just received a gift, when you've won a prize, or when you've escaped a tragedy. When you can sit in your room with an empty bank account and feel a deep, soul-shaking sense of gratitude, as if the wealth is already yours, your body begins to believe it is in a new reality. Your brain starts releasing oxytocin and dopamine. Your stress hormones, cortisol, drop. You are no longer in survival mode, low frequency. You have entered creation mode, high frequency. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are being. If you are being grateful, the universe must provide the circumstances to match that gratitude. The technique, memories of the future. How do we do this practically? We use a technique called future visualization integration. Every morning before you check your phone, stay in that half-awake state. This is when your brain is still in alpha or theta, waves the gateway to the subconscious. Close your eyes and create a memory of the future. Do not look at yourself from the outside like a movie. Live it from the inside. Touch, feel the leather steering wheel of your dream car. Is it cool? Is it textured? Smell. Can you smell the new car scent or the ocean breeze of the vacation home you've secured? Sound. Hear the ping of your phone notification, the one that tells you a massive payment has been processed. The emotional anchor. Most importantly, feel the relief. Feel the weight lifting off your shoulders. Feel the peace of knowing your family is safe and your future is bright. Spend 15 minutes in this state. You are literally pre-paving your timeline. You are telling your nervous system, this is my home, this is my reality. When you open your eyes, do not look for the money. If you look for it, you are admitting it's not there. Instead, carry that feeling of certainty through your day. You are a person who already has what they need. Case study, the $100,000 shift. Let's look at James, an entrepreneur in Seattle. James was $50,000 in debt, and his startup was failing. He was journaling, but he was doing it with gritted teeth and a heart full of panic. He was thinking abundance but feeling death. He stopped focused on the numbers and started focused on the feeling of contribution. He spent his mornings visualizing the smiles on his clients' faces when his product solved their problems. He focused on the feeling of pride he would have when he paid off his debt. He started acting, walking and talking like a man who was already successful, not out of arrogance, but out of quiet certainty. Within 3 months, James didn't just find a lucky investor. He found the courage born from his high frequency to pivot his business model in a way he was previously too afraid to try. That pivot brought in $120,000 in revenue in a single month. James didn't chase the money. He matched the frequency of the solution, and the money had no choice but to follow. The biological upgrade, epigenetics. Here is the most incredible part. When you change your emotional state, you are actually changing your gene expression. This is the science of epigenetics. By consistently feeling high-frequency emotions like joy and appreciation, you signal your cells to switch off disease and stress genes and switch on growth and repair genes. You literally become a different biological being. This is why people who master their frequency often look younger, have more energy, and experience miraculous healings. You aren't just getting rich, you are evolving. You are moving from a limited human to a quantum creator. Open loop, but there is one final piece to this puzzle. If you visualize and feel great all morning, but then go to a job you hate and spend 8 hours in misery, you are canceling out your work. How do we translate this high-frequency feeling into physical action? How do we move from imagining to creating in the real world? In the final part of this series, we are going to look at the in amore casuo principle, the secret of acting from love rather than fear. This is where your frequency meets the pavement. This is how you close the loop and seal your destiny. Can you feel it? Even as you listen to these words, can you feel the slight shift in your chest? That is your frequency rising. If you felt even a spark of that future gratitude just now, I want you to share one thing you are grateful for in the comments. Write it as if it has already happened. For example, I am so grateful for the financial freedom that allows me to travel the world. Stay tuned for the final chapter. We are about to bridge the gap between the quantum field and your daily life. Make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss the grand finale of your awakening. Part 5, the final bridge, from manifesting to creating. We have rewired your brain's filter. We have amplified your heart's magnetic field. But now you stand at the edge of the most dangerous trap in the spiritual world, the trap of passive waiting. Pattern interrupt. Many people learn about the law of attraction and think, I will just sit on my couch, vibrate high, and wait for a check to appear in the mail. I am here to tell you, the universe does not reward beggars, it rewards creators. Action is the physical language of the material world. It is the bridge that allows the energy from the quantum field to solidify into your bank account. Today, we close the loop. We move from working for money to creating from love. The INAMORIKAZUO principle, beyond profit. To understand the highest frequency of action, we look to the east, to a man named Inamori Kazuo. He founded Kyocera and KDDI, turning them into multi-billion-dollar giants, and later saved Japan Airlines from bankruptcy. His secret wasn't a better spreadsheet or a more aggressive marketing plan. It was a simple, soul-deep question he asked before every decision. Is my motive virtuous? Inamori believed that the universe is a living, breathing field of benevolence, goodwill. When you act solely for your own profit out of the fear of not having enough, you are acting in friction with the universe. You are swimming against the current. But when you shift your focus to benefiting others, you align yourself with the strongest current in existence. Money, Inamori taught, is merely the energy ticket the universe sends back to you as a thank you for the value you've created. If you are not seeing money, it is because you have stopped focusing on creating value and started focusing on your own need. The two types of action, fear vs. creation. Let's analyze your daily grind. Type A, fear-based action, working for money. You wake up, you hate your job, you do the bare minimum, and you constantly check the clock. Your frequency is, I am trading my life force for pieces of paper so I don't starve. This is a low-frequency broadcast. It feels heavy. It causes burnout. Type B, love-based action, creating value. You find a way to serve. Even if you are a janitor, you clean with the intention of providing a peaceful environment for others. If you are a coder, you write lines of code to solve a human problem. When you act from type B, you enter the flow state. Time disappears. Fatigue vanishes. You aren't pushing a boulder uphill. You are being pulled by a vision. This is the frequency of the millionaire mindset. The conduit mindset, you are the pipeline. Think of wealth as water. If you try to grab water with your hands and hold it tight, scarcity, it slips through your fingers. But if you become a pipeline, allowing the water to flow through you to reach others, the water never stops coming. The more people you help, the larger your pipeline becomes. The larger your pipeline, the more residual water stays within your system. Ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do so well that I forget about the money while I'm doing it? That is your quantum sweet spot. Whether it's gardening, teaching, or building software, that is where your frequency is highest. When you operate in that spot, the invisible wall we talked about in part one doesn't just crumble, it evaporates. Case study, the accidental empire. Consider the story of a young woman in Seattle who loved making organic soap. She started not because she wanted to be a soap tycoon, but because she wanted to help her friends with sensitive skin. She spent hours researching oils, vibrating at the frequency of helpfulness and creativity. She didn't wait for money. She acted. She made 100 bars. She gave them away. People felt the energy in her product, the care, the high frequency. Suddenly, they were begging to buy them. She opened an Etsy shop. Within 2 years, she had a warehouse and 20 employees. She never chased the money. She chased the joy of creation, and the money chased her. She matched the frequency of abundance by giving abundance first. Closing the loop, the capricious lover revisited. Remember our opening. We said money is like a capricious lover. If you chase it, it runs. But now you know the secret. Stop chasing the lover. Become the kind of person the lover cannot resist. When you are confident, money wants to be near you. When you are grateful, money wants to multiply for you. When you are creative and serving others, money wants to support your mission. You have the tools now. 1. The frequency realization. You are an observer collapsing possibilities. 2. The subconscious delete. You have identified and cut the elephant chain. 3. The RAS reset. Your prosperity journal is now finding the red Teslas of opportunity. 4. The heart magnet. You are living in the future through pre-gratitude. 5. The inspired action. You are acting as a conduit of value, not a victim of labor. Final transformation. The awakening. You are no longer the person who clicked on this video 45 minutes ago. That person was defined by their past, by their debt, and by their fear. The you that exists now is a quantum creator. Your value is not determined by your bank balance. Your bank balance is determined by your internal frequency. Go forth. Write in your journal tonight. Feel the relief of your future success tomorrow morning. And then move your feet. Create something. Help someone. Smile at the universe, knowing that the static is gone and the symphony has finally begun. This concludes our deep dive into the frequency of wealth. But your journey is just beginning. If this 5-part series has shifted something deep inside you, I want you to do 2 things. First, bookmark this video and watch it again whenever you feel the scarcity malware trying to reinstall itself. Second, hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. At Quantum Files Awakening, we are dedicated to bringing you the science and spirituality of the new earth. Leave a comment one last time. I am the source. Thank you for your time, your energy, and your presence. We will see you in the next frequency.